Hey everybody, welcome to my channel or welcome back. It's me, Kylie, and today I'm going to do a 5-minute book review. Okay, so today I'm reviewing Every Heart a Doorway by Seanan McGuire. I read this book on audiobook in January 2019. This is, I think I want to call it like magical realism. Like, I don't really know kind of what genre it fits in. Maybe just fantasy. There was less like actual... There was like a little bit of actual magic in the book, a little bit, but it was more like talking about things that had happened to them in the past. That was kind of more magical. I also think it's middle grade. Yeah, it was a very, very short book. The audiobook, which I listened to on Scribd, was only about, I think it was like 4.5 hours long. It was so short. Yeah, I might be exaggerating on that. With how short it was, but it was very short. Okay, so basically in this book, what happens is children, usually girls, but sometimes boys, will like wander away from their families and they'll stumble upon doors to other worlds. Okay, and they go into these other worlds and sometimes they spend minutes or days there, but sometimes they spend years and years and years there. And then either maybe they're kicked out or maybe they stumble by accident upon a door out and they end up back home and they're still a child when even though they've spent years and years and years in this other world. And so when that happens, everyone's confused usually, but time passes differently in our world versus in their worlds. And so sometimes the children have only been gone, like in Narnia, minutes. Sometimes they've been gone months. Sometimes they've been gone years. But yeah, so there is a school, or there is schools all over the world anyways, who seek out children who've returned from these worlds and basically takes them in and tries to rehab them, basically, and get them so that they can be functional members of this society, because in this world as it is, the odds of your door opening again or you finding the door to your exact same world that you were in before is like less than zero. Like it's really, really slim. So most of the children want to go back to where they were, but and so a lot of the book is talking about your odds of that and trying to convince the children that they're not going to get to go back to their world no matter how hard they try. So yeah. So basically we follow this girl character, and she's at the school, and children are dying, like show up, like they find them murdered, and so there's that, children being murdered, so like be aware of that, like if you can't handle that. And it's pretty gory. There's like certain body parts removed of each children that they find, so be aware of that. And yeah, basically, so these children are, so it's the main character and some of her friends, obviously trying to figure out who's doing the killing and stopping that person from doing the killing. So that's basically the extent of this. I read this novel because it's really hyped. I feel a lot of people talk about it. A lot of people really, really love it. I did really think that it was interesting, and I want to see, I'm definitely going to be continuing on because I want to see more of the worlds. I think it would be really cool to like, if one of the children could go back and you could see into their world that they were in, like that would be really awesome. So I am definitely going to be continuing reading, but yeah, I gave this book 4 stars. And yeah, some final things that I want to say about it is that there's trans rep and there's asexual representation. The theme is obviously like pretty dark and gory. You have children getting murdered and things like that. And the only other thing is that, and you know, like whatever, but you had children like solving the crime of the murders, which like I feel like that's like a very adult thing to do, but that was the only kind of issue that I had with it. And it really was just like a non-issue because they're basically trying to figure out who amongst themselves because they're pretty sure that it's someone at the school that's doing it. So, yeah, so let me know what you think of this series. Let me know what you think of books that are like further along. I think this is like a 4-book series. And yeah, like what I can be looking forward to. Does it get better? Does it get worse? Or whatever. Like and subscribe to see more from me. And that's all I have for you today. Bye.